Hey guys, Jennifer here with Marrero Family Farm. Just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update of what's been going on around here. We have a few animals that are pregnant or may be pregnant, and just wanted to give you guys the update and let you see what's new on the farm. So for those of you that do not know, the black and white one here, that is Pebbles. She is definitely pregnant and definitely gonna be having a baby here in just a few days. But as you can see, her udder is getting a little bigger there. It looks like she has a little mucus coming from the back as well. So by the time you guys see this video, I'll try to get it posted and edited tonight. But if I can't, then it will be up tomorrow. But she's due on the 31st. So we'll see how she does. I did shave her down in the back to get her nice and clean. So when she does give birth, she'll have a nice, hopefully a nice, easy birth. This will be her second kidding. Look, she's very lovey. You can see she's always rubbing on Piper and letting her know how much she loves her. I did have to separate them last night, and they're still. This one here is Piper, that's Pebbles, and that one there is Ruby. So this tan one is the mom of these two little white bucklings. If you have not watched some of my other videos, I'll post a video. So I put together a video to kind of give you guys an idea of who we're going to be breeding who to try to improve the genetics of our herd that we have, to have better milking lines and stuff like that. However, Pebbles, like I said, this is her second kidding, and she was bred to the same buck that she was bred to last time. And she had a really nice looking buckling, and we sold him. And the dad is Peter. Peter is also the father of Piper's two little bucklings, the ones that I just showed you. So he obviously throws bucklings that look exactly like him. Something that we've decided that we're doing is selling Peter and one of the other bucklings who we have named Casper. I know if that's not confusing enough, but Casper and Jasper. Casper is the one that's a little bit lighter in color, and Jasper has a little bit of a darker spot on the back of his neck. So here, let's get back to Pebbles. So like I was saying, you can see her udder is starting to get bigger, but it's not completely popped yet. That's a term that's basically used, I don't know if it's used in the cow world at all, but look at this girl. She's so silly. But it's definitely used in the goat world, where the udder will get really shiny and get really big right before she's about to kid. But as you can see by looking at her, she does not have a large udder or large teats. So one of the reasons why I think it's best that we sell Peter is just to increase the udder size. And even though Peter is a registered buck, he really doesn't come from great genetics as far as the udder goes. Like if you look here at Piper, Piper has an excellent udder. She has good sized teats. I mean, they're not large, but she has good sized teats. This is the first time that she's had any kids. So considering she's a first freshener, she's doing an excellent job, and that will just improve as the time goes on. So these little bucklings here, they're only 5 weeks old, And when they are 8 weeks old, they will be weaned. So this one over here will be staying. That's Jasper. This one here is Casper. We're gonna find a new home for Casper. They will be producing kids that have a good udder because mom comes from excellent genetics. So when Ruby, well, I don't know, we might later in maybe next year we'll breed Ruby to Jasper. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure yet if I want to do that. Right now it's possible that Ruby is bred as well. We are still milking her only once a day, but you could see she's starting to fill out a little bit on her sides, and she was quite thin. I know you want to say hello, huh? After she had her birth, you know, she nursed, and then we have her little buckling. She has a good udder as well. So anyway, she's starting to fill out a little bit again. So I'm starting to think maybe she did get bred. We bred Ruby to Zorro, this one here. He is 9 months old, so he's definitely at a good age to be breeding. And I'm pretty sure by the looks of Ruby, I do think that it might have taken. She stood for him and he did his job. So and she has had 3 sets of kids already. So there's no reason to think that she didn't get bred. But yeah, from the looks of it, I'm going to say that she did. So that's a good thing. We'll move on to our cute little piggies. They're all bundled up in their pens right now. So way back in there, that is Tiny Tim, the black and white one there. Peppa is in there somewhere. I can see her. You can't really see her. You see that gray? Right here. Hold on. That gray spot right there. That's Peppa. And Mr. Tiny Tim there is laying on top of her. But at least they're keeping each other warm. It's not freezing today like it has been. So, Peppa! Peppa! Are you sleeping? They usually come out when I call them. Maybe I should go check on her. Peppa! Let me go check on her. There she is. Well, she sure did not want to wake up, I'll tell you that. In our locking system here, pigs are notorious for escaping. First and foremost, they are bigger escape artists than goats. If anybody tells you that a goat will get out of anything, I believe that to be more true with pigs. So, you know, we just have a cattle panel here that we've secured with the, like, they turn very easily. We have 2 of them, one here and another locking one here. And, you know, typically it would be good. And I think it might have actually worked better if we put this here maybe a little bit lower. If you can see here, there's a decent amount of space from where the bottom lock is right there to the ground. So they tend to flip this part out and sneak out. So actually, that would be an excellent idea. Just maybe 1 or 2 spots lower. That'll probably keep them in, and we wouldn't have to use this fork to help secure it in there. But Peppa must be cold because she just went back into her little hutch back there. Mr. Tiny Tim loves to scratch. All pigs do, really. It's not just Tim. They are constantly scratching on things. It's actually kind of cute and funny all at the same time. But you can see Peppa, she's trying to get back in her little nest back there. So I can't really show you. Let's see if she'll come out. Peppa, come here. Here she comes. Come here, Peppa. See, Peppa, we had a litter of piglets from her before. And she didn't start showing immediately. She didn't start showing until maybe a month before she had her babies. And if Peppa is pregnant, I'm going to assume that she is not due. See, maybe we can get a good look. She won't be due until probably about March. Are you going to be nice, Tim? See, look. Tim likes to try to bite. Unless you catch him on the top of his head, I get nervous because he's nippy. You know, normally they say that you don't want to breed animals that have bad behavior or, you know, are nippy or just any kind of aggression or whatever. And I agree with that. I mean, that's a true statement. I wouldn't deny that at all. But Peppa is so sweet. I mean, I didn't rub her right now just because it's kind of hard with the camera and stuff like that. But typically, she is such a good girl. She'll plop on her side and let me rub her belly. And she just loves all that wonderful, cuddly stuff. So I absolutely love Peppa. Tiny Tim, on the other hand, like, if you catch him at the right time, you can pet him on the top of his head and he'll be fine with you and not, you know, try to bite or anything. But he just has a weird personality, but he's not mean. He's not aggressive. He doesn't like come charging after you. We can go in there and feed him with no problems. He just doesn't really like to be social to the point where he wants to be pet. He'll come up to you and kind of hang out with you. He just doesn't want you to touch him. So, I mean, as far as breeding him, he's a nice size. He's a nice color. He has good eyes and good genetics. So for me, that's enough. As long as the piglets, and we tested it from the last set of piglets, they were very calm, very, you know, well behaved. They didn't mind being held and stuff, and they never tried biting, and so that's good. I know that the offspring from the two of them are fine, so it doesn't really worry me. So we have talked about Pebbles being bred and about to have a baby here any day now. So we've actually got to get her stall nice and cleaned out. I was saying that Pebbles and Piper were actually in the same stall together. They were roommates. But lately, like the last 2 days, I've noticed that Pebbles and Piper have been headbutting a lot. And with Pebbles being so close to kidding, I really don't want to risk anything happening or somebody getting hurt. So last night actually, I separated them and I put Piper and Ruby together. I tried to separate Piper and put her in a pen all by herself so she can have as much space as she wanted. But oh my goodness, that girl threw a fit. She acted like she was dying. She was so mad, making so much noise. And I know that goats are herd animals and they like to stay together, but they're together all day long. So I figured at night she would appreciate some alone time, but no way. She did not want to be by herself. So I put her in with Ruby and almost instantly she stopped making so much noise. She was so much happier. So, I mean, if that's what she wants, then that's what she gets. I'm not going to deny that at all whatsoever. So tonight, actually here in a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and get that stall cleaned out and prepared, just so probably if she doesn't kid by the 30th, then I'll probably clean the stall out again. So by the time she does kid, which her due date is the 31st, like I said, so at least it'll be super clean by then. We actually have a neighbor who is giving us a bunch of their leftover straw that they had from the holidays. So we're gonna use that as bedding. We usually use the fine pine flakes, which I absolutely love them because they disintegrate super easy. So as far as like making compost and stuff like that for your garden, it disintegrates nicely and a little bit quicker. But as far as birthing goes, I like to use the straw because it doesn't stick to the babies as much. That fine pine just tends to stick to them all over the place. It's great as normal bedding, but for birthing, it makes it a little bit messy. So we're gonna use the straw for that. If we don't get the straw in time, I'll put some hay in there because hay is not as sticky either. I mean, it'll get on them, but it's easier to get it off of them and keep them clean. So we've talked about Pebbles. We've talked about Ruby, who she's not due to kid anytime soon. And we've talked about Peppa. We have a lot of P's. We have Peaches, our cow, Peppa, Piper, Pebbles, and I think that's it. Oh, and we also have Peter, our boy in the back. Oh my goodness. So anyways, I try to keep track of all these P names, but every now and then I get a little twisted up. So Peppa, the pig, she hopefully will have some babies in March. Ruby, I believe April is when I saw her due date to be. Actually, yes, April 28th, because she's due on my son's birthday if she is pregnant. So we'll keep an eye on her. Last but not least, when it comes to pregnancy, oh my gosh, I was gonna, look at this. If you've been watching my videos, you know I talk about our mucky, nasty water mess. And obviously it's winter time, so it's really muddy right now, which I'm sure you can see, which actually would be great for compost for my gardening. So I might actually come in and scrape up some of this muck here and actually use it, especially like back here in this area where a lot of the leaves are starting to break down. This is really great compost material. But anyways, I was going to go back there and walk in the pasture, but I don't have my water boots on, so not going to do that. Not going to risk it. This pretty little girl back here is a mini Jersey. I'm thinking it's maybe possible that she's mixed with Zebu, but from what I was told, she is a purebred. But her name is Duchess, and she, hopefully, we're praying, is bred December 27th. The vet came and artificially inseminated her. So we are hoping that it took. We'll find out in the beginning of next month, which would be the beginning of February, if she is pregnant or not. So everybody please pray that she's pregnant, because we went through artificial insemination with Peaches, but for some reason she had a miscarriage. So we're not quite sure why that happened. She's had 2 calves. So it really doesn't make much sense of why she had a miscarriage. But unfortunately she did. It was her first time being artificially inseminated. The other 2 times that she had a calf, it was done naturally. So it's possible that that could be a reason. We are going to wait. I came over here because I was trying to figure out what my dog is doing. He's flinging something around. Looks like he has a towel or something. Look what he's doing. Do you guys see what he's doing? So, Sergeant, I don't want to say his name too loud, he'll hear me. Him and my cow are best friends. It is so funny. You see him? He's standing on top of her, playing with a towel. I don't even know where on earth he got that towel from. Sergeant, where'd you get that towel? Yeah, I'm sure Peaches loves you laying on top of her, just digging your feet into her. Yeah, gonna have fun with that and rip it up. It's so funny. We're gonna wait until probably the beginning of February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. But that means that she'll calve in November. Not really looking forward to a November calving, but I prefer November over December or January for sure. So we still have time. I just don't want a winter baby. So that'll work out okay. It's just a long process for cows, and we only have 2. So it's not like we have a huge herd of cows that we're trying to get bred. Then over here, we have our ducks. And lately, it's been a really funny show between our Peking Ducks. They have been really funny. Lady has been playing with the ducks, and they've been, it's hard to tell if they're playing with her or if they're just frustrated. But she'll leave them alone, like now. She's not bothering them. She's not going up to them. And then for no reason, the ducks will just come up to her and start like messing with her. So then they're all playing back and forth constantly. And look, see, here we go. Watch. He's going to though. Watch, they do this. This is what they do. She's just sitting there not minding her own business. See? And then he attacks her. And then she wants to play with him. This has been going on now for like 3 days. A non-stop. But she doesn't... All right, lady. Easy, lady. Lady. So she's not trying to hurt them. I think she's just trying to let him know, hey, leave me alone. I'm not bugging you. You don't bug me. But it's been interesting, to say the least. So we've been keeping an eye on them. Lady has been really good with the chickens and the ducks. Like, she doesn't try to hurt any of them. But these ducks, they are causing all the problems, to be honest. These two ducks over here, these are our Muscovy ducks. They're called chocolate Muscovies. This one here in the front with the bigger red stuff on his face. Lady. But see, when they start flying, she gets a little excited. Lady, no. Well, that one is the male, and then she's the female. And they're a rescue. We got them from Big Spring Park, which is in Huntsville, Alabama. And someone reached out to me and asked me if we'd be interested in adopting a couple of ducks because they had way too many ducks and nobody was there feeding them and stuff. So we took on 2 ducks. Now, something that I had learned, which I didn't know before, is that a Muscovy duck will mate with another breed of duck and she'll have offspring, but those offsprings will be sterile and not be able to reproduce. So they're called mules. So if she decided to mate with one of these Peking ducks, she'll have babies, but those babies won't be able to have babies, and they're just called mules. And obviously if she mated to the male of the Muscovy, then they'll be able to reproduce. So we need to start getting to the point where we need to keep an eye on her. If she ends up with mule eggs, then we'll most likely let her breed those out, and then we will butcher those ducks and stick them in the freezer. And if she has eggs that can reproduce, then we'll probably just sell those ducks. But it kind of just depends. We haven't decided 100% yet, and we're not quite there. She's still kind of young, but she's almost at that point where she's gonna start laying eggs. So we really have to start keeping an eye on her. I'm pretty sure that that's pretty much it. So the beginning of February, we're going to AI Peaches again. And the beginning of February, we find out if Duchess is pregnant. And now it's just kind of a waiting game to see when Pebbles will have her babies. So that's it for today. So thank you guys so much for watching this video today. I hope you found this information educational and you learn a little that's going on here on the farm. And when the vet comes back in February, I'm gonna try to do my best to get a video on the artificial insemination of Peaches, our Highland cow. She is wild comes to veterinarians. So we'll see how that goes. Duchess is definitely an easy breed of cow that doesn't mind being in the milking stand and stuff like that. But Peaches doesn't mind being in the milking stand, but she is not cool with someone going up behind her. So try to get that on video for you guys so you can see how dangerous it could possibly be. As long as the vet okays it, we'll go ahead and do that. But thanks for sticking around until the end. And until next time, you guys be blessed. Bye-bye.